If you like cars, you know Ferrari. Ferrari is like the most pretty, most popular girl at school. Everybody wants to be with her. You want to be with her. She doesn't want to be with you though. But even if she, for some miracle, did, you'd find out that she's a lot more boring than you first thought. But then you have this. This is the Kimera EVO37. It's like the quiet girl at school, the one you probably didn't notice at first, but as you creepily stare at her from across the library, which I know you do, she just keeps getting prettier. Now, if your weird staring didn't scare her off for some reason, and you get to know her, you realize she's the most fun, amazing, and interesting person you've ever met. Unassuming, unique, and almost everything you could ever ask for. That's the Kimera. Now, some of you might notice that this car looks pretty familiar, and that's because it is.
This is Group B Rally, a racing series known for being so dangerous and insane that it actually got banned. In the early 1980s, Audi was dominant in Group B, absolutely crushing all of its competitors with its legendary sport quattro, named after its high-tech quattro all-wheel drive system. Now, pretty much every manufacturer entering Group B believed that all-wheel drive was superior, and that there would never be a successful rear-wheel drive powered rally car again. But one small Italian company disagreed. Okay, well maybe they didn't disagree entirely, but Lancia, the company in question, had been developing the EVO37, a rear-wheel drive competitor for the Group B series, and they still believed that it had a shot. They saw the simplicity and weight savings that a rear-wheel drive setup allowed for, and even though nobody believed it would actually be truly competitive against the Audi, they entered it anyways. The two teams couldn't be more different. Audi was well-funded, had the best drivers, and had what seemed to be the best car. Lancia, on the other hand, had almost no money, one driver who was alright, a second driver who didn't care about winning, and a car that was at a huge disadvantage. But in 1983, against all odds, they beat Audi. That year, Lancia won the World Rally Constructors Championship, making the EVO37 the last rear-wheel drive car to ever win WRC.
Now since then, admittedly, Lancia's gone just a little bit downhill.
No longer do they make stunning mid-engined rally cars.
Instead, they make this. As you could imagine, this upset many people, including one Italian man named Luca. Of course his name was Luca. So to retaliate, Luca created this. Kimera EVO37, and it might look like a Lancia, but it's far from it. And if I were a supercar manufacturer like Ferrari, I'd be kind of scared. Oh my God. So what's the deal with this thing? And why should Ferrari be scared? Kimera Automobili, which is incredibly Italian, loved the EVO37 because, let's be real, how could you not love it? It was undeniably cool, a well-decorated race car, and like Kimera, incredibly Italian. But even then, it wasn't enough. Luca, who owns Kimera Automobili, theorized that modern technology had come a long way, and if he just took that technology and put it in the EVO37, he could make something totally new. He wanted to take everything that was good about that original EVO37 and turn it up to 11. And from the beautiful Kimera HQ, which is an Italian villa, because of course it is, they built this. It's the perfect formula. It's manual, it's rear-wheel drive, and it's mid-engine. But it gets even better. The engine makes over 500 horsepower and it's lighter than a Miata, which means this little car has a better power to weight ratio than a Ferrari Enzo. And all that power somehow comes from a little tiny 4-cylinder. Like many restomodders of the modern day, Kimera realized there's a formula to making a great car. You take something with an analog feel of the past, like an EVO37, and then you bring in modern technology to make the car faster, more reliable, and make it handle better. Now, to those of you who are concerned that they cut up an actual EVO37 to build this thing, don't worry. This thing is actually made from a Lancia Scorpion, and the only parts that remain are this badge and just a little bit of the chassis. The rest is completely re-engineered by Kimera with no expense spared. And when you give an ambitious Italian a blank check, they don't disappoint. This car is amazing. Full stop. In a world of digital displays, electronic motors, and full self-driving, in this, you're pretty much in a Group B rally car. This car has soul, personality, and if you don't treat it right, it will bite you in the butt. But that's exactly what you want a car to do. A good car is a car you use for special occasions. A Sunday drive, a cars and coffee, a date night. But a great car makes every day a special occasion. And that is exactly what this car does. It makes the craziest sounds too. Now from the moment you sit inside this car, it just feels special. Let me show you, come on in. Just to start it up, you have to do this crazy sequence that makes you feel like a fighter pilot. It's so cool. The shifter is super notchy and made of billet aluminum. It's also fully exposed shifter linkage, which is really sweet. The steering wheel, just a basic Alcantara wheel, and the seats are also really basic. They don't heat, cool, or massage you, but they are carbon fiber buckets, which makes them light and a little bit uncomfortable. But that's not really the point of this car. Yes, the car has AC. Yes, it has a stereo. And yes, there are many buttons that do many little things. But that's not really the point of this car. Everything is purpose-built to enhance the driving experience, and honestly, nothing else. And that's kind of the gist of this thing. Unlike most modern cars, which are built for luxury, this thing is not. And on the outside, you can definitely tell that. For starters, the entire body is carbon fiber. Now, although that carbon body does look very similar to the original O37, it's lower, lighter, wider, and more aerodynamic than it. But it gets even better. This car makes over 500 horsepower, which is practically double what the original O37 makes, and it puts that power down through a 6-speed Graziano manual gearbox. They're known for making some of the best in the world. And like the original O37, it's rear-wheel drive. It also has a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, just like the original O37. But in the Kimera, as you can tell, it's been extensively modified. Alongside the turbocharger, this car also has a supercharger, because why not? The way this car delivers power is absolutely insane. First, when you start accelerating, you get the supercharger. Superchargers are great down low. But then, as you get higher up in the RPMs, you start to get boost from the turbocharger. So you really get the best of both worlds, but that's not the craziest part. Superchargers, when you get high in the RPMs, no longer are very helpful, and they start to draw power from the engine. To combat that, there is an actual system that disengages the supercharger as the turbocharger comes in, which literally means this is the most efficient twin-charged engine you could possibly have. It's brilliant, and you can literally hear the supercharger disconnect. It's so weird, but so cool. I feel like an actual rally car driver. Now, because this car has a supercharger and a turbocharger, it's really fast. Very fast. It'll do 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds with a top speed of 190 miles per hour, which, let's be honest, is a lot more than you're ever gonna need. And Kimera agrees with that, which is why there's 3 buttons down here on the center console. Those buttons allow you to change the actual horsepower in the car. It turns up the boost, and you can turn it up pretty high, all the way to over 500 horsepower. I'm in the lowest map right now, and this thing is very scary. Seriously, you will never need this much power on a back road, but this car isn't just about straight line speed. It has modern double wishbone suspension with Öhlins coilovers, a crazy twin shock rear suspension that's derived from the original O37, carbon ceramic Brembo brakes, and don't forget, It only weighs 2,300 pounds. The steering is so sharp and reactive. It takes some getting used to after getting out of a modern car and jumping in this thing. It's just in a completely different league. Now, I probably won't ever get a chance to drive an actual Group B rally car, but this Kimera feels like what I think a Group B rally car probably would. And it's the closest I'm gonna get. It's raw, uncompromised, and brings you back to a time when cars were built for a single purpose. And that's the problem with modern supercars. They're just built to do too much. They're built to do everything. Let's face it, if you're buying $1 million car, you likely have more than one car. So if you're buying a supercar, you want it to be a supercar. A supercar should be scary. It should have weird quirks. It should be an event to drive. But these days, modern supercars are all-wheel drive hybrid technological marvels that are as usable in a Whole Foods parking lot as they are on a racetrack. Now don't get me wrong, that's really cool and super impressive. But there's one thing you can't engineer into a car: a soul. This is far from the fastest car ever built in any imaginable way. And if that's what you're looking for, go buy something else. If you want a car that'll take your breath away every time you look at it in the garage and bring you the biggest smile when you're driving it, look no further. When you drive a Kimera, it brings out your inner child and reminds you why you like cars in the first place. That's something that's truly priceless. Oh my God. Now there is one problem with the EVO37, and that is that it's sold out. However, Kimera has a fix for that, and it's this, the EVO38. The EVO38 is all-wheel drive, it's lighter, and it makes 100 more horsepower. And if you want one, which you should, reach out to HK Motor Cars. They were nice enough to lend us both cars for the day, which is just crazy. And also, subscribe.